Hey friends, I'm back and I've got Troy with me. Yay! Might be the one and only time that I get him on camera with me, but I did it.
Yay.
I got him to finish reading The Death Dealer, and pretty much if I just stuck with it, I would have gotten to get to the character Robin Lakehair.
Robin Lakehair.
Yeah, it sounds like a character on that video game Brutal Legends.
Hey, that's perfect. This is, if you imagine Metalocalypse, the band Death Clock, if they wrote a song about Brutal Legend, that is what this book is. And they had obviously Conan was a huge inspiration for this.
I kept thinking of Braun Strowman though.
I can
When
see
they
Braun
mentioned
Strowman.
the main guy Gath of Fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any big dude, that mumbles. But
Yeah.
this book is exactly what you think it is. It's very violent, very 80s, which I love. It was written by the same dude that wrote the movie American Ninja, which when I was a kid, that was like super cool. But James Silka, he also known for Betty Page and the Jungle Girls, which I have not read. But
Sounds fun though.
first publication anywhere. And this is a pretty sweet copy, all bent up. It's got character all over it. And I would hate to have read this in pristine condition. It's ripped down here. I feel like that's the only way you can read this book.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be all clean and perfect. It needs to have a little past.
Yeah.
But anyways, got the yellow pages. Dig that. It's 315 pages, 314 pages. I don't read a lot of fantasy. I mostly read crime and horror, but this was good. 100 pages in, she had trouble getting going on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm determined. I'm going to read it. So 100 pages in, it all came together. Like I said, she said Robin Lakehair shows up. I think she was probably 10 pages away from that. But it jumps characters a lot of really in-depth descriptions of swamps and alligators and all that stuff. And a lot of times when I read about that kind of stuff, my brain will instantly just jump off and I'll be thinking about alligators and stuff. And then the story is continuing, but I'm reading it, but I'm not processing it because I'm thinking of something else. And then something would happen and it'd bring me back, But
yeah, I think it wasn't this. I mean, I read fantasy, but not really violent stuff. Like I'm reading stuff that has plenty of little happy moments.
Yeah, not a lot of that.
This is not like a happy moment. Even like the one lady, Cobra.
Yeah, Cobra,
is,
bad
like
guy,
lots
80s.
of snakes and stuff.
Yeah.
But I may have to give it another try sometime.
And this is the first of 5. And I would love to get the next one and see where this goes, but the only prices I can find for the next one are like 27 to 35 to 50 to, there's always a dude on there that has it for 500. But if I ever run across this in one of my trading books or Second Charles or something, I definitely pick it up. But I have to wait and see how that goes. I may never find it.
And I finally finished William Paul Young's Eve. I really enjoyed this, and he's given you a different take on the story of creation and the fall of man, and he does a really good job of forcing you to kind of open your mind to a completely different perspective from what you have, from the way you've heard it told so many times. So if you're into kind of exploring a different take on Christ or on, different things, stories in the Bible, then you should definitely read William Paul Young. It's awesome. I'll reread that.
Yeah. 2 books, different things.
Yeah.
Both probably problematic. I would both considered problematic. Speaking of problematic, March Mystery Madness.
Yeah, I let Troy choose my book.
Yeah.
And I read close to 60 pages today. And I love it so far. I love it, love it, love it. Raymond Chandler's The Big Sleep.
Mm-hmm.
This
I don't
is
know
great.
if that's problematic or not.
This is
Maybe
great.
it's not.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for bedtime and to sit with my book and read it.
She's read all of the Sherlock Holmes, so when we went to mystery, instantly was like, well, you've read those, time to move on to Raymond Chandler. Raymond Chandler is, I think, he's everybody's favorite. I know everybody has their own, but I've never heard anybody that was just like Raymond Chandler sucks.
You said he only wrote like 8 books.
I'm not sure exactly. I know he wrote 1 million short stories, but I know that he's, I'm familiar with probably 8 of his books. The main ones, but
it's great though. It's definitely just the like I want to watch the Humphrey Bogart movie. That's like exactly what I'm picturing in my mind. It's very iconic.
Yeah,
I love it.
Perfect. And for March Mystery Madness, I'm going to read Dave Klein's Fourth Down. It's a story. Dave Klein, it says on the back, is one of only 8 reporters to have covered every Super Bowl. So this was written in 1999. So hopefully he's still out there.
Reporter.
Yeah, an actual sports reporter.
That's cool.
So far, the little bit that I've gotten into in this, and this is not spoilers or giving anything away, but a star quarterback dies on the field, and everybody thinks that he just had a heart attack or something. But this one sports reporter is suspicious, and he starts digging in. But he's already an old school sports reporter. As Dave Klein was at the first Super Bowl, I think that was in the '60s. So he's been at it for a while, and it's fascinating to me. Is the mystery is great and all, but I've been enjoying the old school sports reporter side. The dude, coming home, he has a certain type of coffee that he drinks after the game, and he kind of misses his typewriter, but the new technology of computers is just too convenient.
That's cool. So that's like for real, like him talking about
himself. You can tell it's just he's the lead character of this book, and it's fantastic. I've really enjoyed it. I've been surprised because I've never really heard a lot about this book. I think I bought this at Winn-Dixie, like probably about 1999. So I've had it ever since, and it's always been on the list if I'm about to reid that. Now it's, what is that, 20 years ago? So yeah, I'm going to read it now. That's why it still looks brand new. This thing has moved like 3 or 4 different houses, and now it's finally being read. So, but I'm also going to read. This is Tim. Is that his name? Tim Curran. This is my Kindle book. I don't know if you can see this or not, but it's called Skull Moon, and it is.
That's a wicked cover.
Yeah, it's a wicked cover. It's actually a Western.
Oh.
And there is a monster in it. It's kind of like I don't know what it is, but it's a mystery horror Western, if that is a category. But that's what that book is.
Made it one.
Yeah, it is now. But Tim Curran says so. Okay. But anyways, it's people are getting mauled in this town, and a guy comes to figure out what's going on. He's like a federal agent or whatever from back then, Western times, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. They figure out it's not a thing; it's a someone. So I said that's mystery. So yeah, I'm going to read that for March Mystery also.
Cool. Cool. So. I'm super excited to show you what I found at Second and Charles. It was a strange trip. They have like I said, we took our books in and dumped them off, and then we wanted to go look outside because they have free bins. But this lady, man, she took it over
yes.
I don't know, she was acting so strange.
You get that feeling you're being watched.
And there wasn't a ton of stuff out there, and she was just, I don't know, she had
in a van,
she had
old creepy van.
She had stacks on the ground, so we said, well, let's just go inside and we'll wait till she leaves. And so, we did what we did inside. We came
Hours.
out.
We were in there for an hour and a half at least.
We came back out. Nearly everything was out of the bins except where people had for real ripped books into pieces. Mm-hmm. Why they do that?
Yeah. And I tell the kids, I say, hey, there was a lady out here just hoarding this a while ago. And then we turn, and there's a van sitting there, and you see her, and she's like, these are my bins,
Yeah.
It was intense.
It was like a hoarder's vehicle, but if anything happened, she probably couldn't see very well. She would get a ticket or something for, because she couldn't there's no way she could see to drive safely.
Yeah,
But
that
she
thing
was
packed
watching.
down.
If anybody was putting anything in that bin, she was getting to it first.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was wild. Hey,
Yeah.
it's a hustle, you know.
Yeah. And then I didn't find anything that I was looking for. Troy found a couple of books that he had been looking for, so you know
did.
it wasn't like a total loss as a trip.
Yeah. We didn't spend any money. Our credit covered everything. That's always my goal
Yeah.
when I go there, because we'll read things, and if we don't like them, they go in the second Charles pile, and then we take them up there, we get our credit, and we go find other things that we will possibly
Yeah.
bring back to them again one
Yeah,
day.
and they have new stuff, but then their used stuff, you're gonna get a good copy of the book. Even
Yeah.
though it's used, it's not gonna be
That's
just
the free bin is
destroyed.
what they use if you bring something up there that's just trashed, and we found a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
You know, when it's not being guarded.
I think
but-
they actually took one of the books back that I got from the free bin last time.
Yeah, we pulled that off. So that was funny. But I got the Black Order, James Rollins. And depending on what list you read, I've seen where some people have Deep Fathom as number 1 in the Sigma series. Some people have Sandstorm as number 1. So this would be either 3 or 4, depending on what list you go by. And I love James Rollins. So I just went ahead and went by the Deep Fathom, you know, because I would have read it anyway one day. And I also picked up The Trench, Steve Alton. This is the riveting sequel to Meg, which is just a megalodon shark, raising hell in the deep blue sea. So, stuff that would
horrible.
terrify her.
Well, I mean, like, there are already sharks that are enormous out in the ocean. We don't need
Clawed her
megalodons.
face. We were watching a YouTube video where I'm sure if you haven't seen it, just do tiger shark kayak. There's a guy fishing. Tiger shark comes after his fish and jumps out of the water right next to him. And I saw that and I was like, gonna show Jody.
Yeah.
So I went, showed her. And I looked afterwards, she had clawed her face. Just because the kayak kind of flips and you just see the ocean and it's just endless blue. And are you more scared of a shark or when it just shows
It's
the ocean and you can't see the bottom?
It's the ocean. Like, even
Yeah.
though I've seen the movie The Abyss, I still, like, through, like,
She was watching The Abyss.
most of it, yeah.
She
Through,
did.
through most of it, I'll hold my breath
Yeah.
for really long periods because it just makes me so nervous. I think I must have, like, drowned in a past life or something. I don't know. But I'm just not a fan of a lot of water.
But anyway, we're at Second Charles. I'm just like, ooh, I have been looking for this. And then Jody comes up, I can't find anything. She's furious.
Yeah.
So next thing I know, she's just, I can't find anything. And I was like, well, hey, look what and then she and left.
Yeah.
And then later on, she's just missing. And I come around and I find her. She's on the floor and she has a bunch of stuff just spread out in front of her.
Well, I was looking
And,
for they have comics, and I don't think I never went over there. The other times that we've been, and I was hoping to find some of the Rebirth stuff, or just
Swamp
a
Thing.
few New 52 issues that I don't have a
Yeah.
Swamp Thing, and they even had like the little marker, in the long box, and there was nothing there.
Yeah. She was getting hit on.
I just struck up a conversation. I don't meet strangers, I guess. And this dude, he was asking me if you see any of something, and he's like, I'm looking for Disney comics.
Hey.
And I was like, okay, wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Maybe he has like nieces or something like that. Maybe they weren't for himself. Who knows? But
A valued time of his childhood.
yeah, I didn't know Disney made comics, honestly. But they had a bunch of the Savage Sword of Conan the Barbarians for like $3. And this one, I like it. It reminds me of a story that my dad told me. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a series on like stories with my dad. But basically, there was a situation where a dog jumped on him and he bit the dog's ear off. So this just made me think about my dad.
Yeah, that's how it
Yeah,
looked.
he's a
That's an exact,
he's a tough guy.
interpretation.
He's a man's man.
yeah.
This
He's
is by
seen some
far
things.
this is by far my favorite cover, and I don't know if this is like a I guess it's an orc. Who knows? I'm sure somebody can educate me on it. But the lady on it looks very like Red Sonja, you know, and like she just looks like she's just not really worried about what's going on. She's with Conan, so you know she's good to go. But I just think that is incredible, and really it's just that orc's head that's what does it for me. I just love it. And yeah, I did have them spread out because I knew Troy was getting those books. So I know I couldn't like just spend like, you know, $200 on these things, even though I totally would have. Because I couldn't believe they had them for $3.
Yeah, they were like $2.94 a piece, something like that.
But I found this one, and I'll show it to you just a second. And it was part 3 of 4, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. There's no way they're going to have, you know, parts 1, 2, and 4, and they did. So that immediately, I had those 4 I had to get, and then I had some other ones that were really awesome, but I narrowed it down to that one. So anyway,
there was a stripper cover. It had a bunch of strippers on it. Remember that one?
Oh yeah, that was it. But I liked that one better. The orc head. The orc head won out over all the strippers. But the Skull on the Seas, The Legend of King Cole. And basically, from what I can tell, most of the chicks have pigtails, and they're fighting some kind of reptile kind of creatures. Like, I don't know what that thing is. And then this one, there's like a Medusa anaconda. The chick, she's got her pigtails, and she's lost her shirt. Which, you know, they don't always have shirts for the ladies in these.
It's really warm.
Now this one, this is the cover that I saw, you know, talking about how scared I am of the ocean and sharks. But I just thought this was great. I just thought that was awesome. That looks incredible. And then I really like this one. They're fighting some kind of lizard people. She's got a shirt in this one, but she does have the pigtails. And then it looks like Doctor Strange's cloak is in the background. Because there's a guy with no head. I don't know what that's about. I'll have to read these just to find out what's going on. And I just realized she's like really holding on to a skull. What's that about? But anyway, that was a really fun trip. So I mean, even though some of the stuff I think at Second Charles sometimes I'm like, oh, this is kind of overpriced, or they'll have like a ton of a book, but then I don't want to pay what their used price is because it'll be like $6 or $7.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, shoot, you know, I could just get it, you know, brand new off Amazon for that. You know that.
There's a ton of used bookstores around here. I guess most places are probably that way, but we really seem to be spoiled around here. That you know, from watching BookTube, it looks like a lot of people are surrounded by used bookstores.
So I was shocked when these were $3.
Yeah.
You know, so. You know, I think next time I go, I might just run over to the comics and start rifling through the boxes on the floor. You know,
those are normally like $8 online. So I was impressed when she was looking at them. I looked online to see what they were going for, and I was like, "Shoot, that's like half." Yeah. For most of these.
So and they're just beautiful.
They were regularly priced $225, and we got them for like $284. Yeah. That's pretty cool because these are 20 years old at least. Yeah. So older than that. I think most of them were like early 90s. So,
so check it out. If you got a Second and Charles, go through their comics. They may not know what they have up there.
Yeah. I don't know who they aren't organized at all. They were. That's why the guy was having such a time. He couldn't even find Disney.
Like they had like the you know how they'll have the tables on the top. Those were organized, but then the boxes on the bottom, they were just in every kind of whichever order, you know, like, I'm like, okay, well, y'all had to look at these, you know, to give somebody credit. You could have, like, kind of put them in order, you know. I don't know if that's just me being
You could tell somebody was just like, eh.
Yeah. They're just like, well, yeah, we did that.
They're like, did you organize the comics? And he was like, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, I did it.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. Yeah. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. I want to go back.
Yeah, we'll go back soon.
I want to go back.
We still have credit. We didn't even use all our credit. So we give it a few months, and I might hate some of this stuff, and we'll take it back. Yeah. So, you know, it always works out.
Yeah.
So.
Alrighty. Well, leave comments below. Let me know. Do you want to see more videos with Troy? Do we want to make him do that again or not? Tell me what you think of The Big Sleep, because I'm loving it so far. What are other Raymond Chandler books that I must read after this one? Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to want to read more of those.
Yeah.
Because I love those. It makes me think of like Harry Bosch. But,
Harry Bosch.
Or, you know,
that's the good stuff.
Taking place earlier.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And I've enjoyed watching everybody's videos. I've been really enjoying March Mystery Madness, and I may not be on this channel a lot, but I do watch a lot of videos.
Yeah.
BookTube is like my thing. I watch it every day, you know.
Yeah,
so.
we have certain people that, you know, he may watch it by himself, but like
I'll watch it again.
I want to watch them with Troy, because
I got to write stuff down because I haven't seen that book, you know.
Yeah.
So I know my list has grown since I started watching BookTube. My list is huge, you know.
Yeah.
I'm watching Paperback Junkie. I'm watching the through Paperback Junkie. He recommended was that Paperback Mania. Golly, I can't stop watching those. I went back and watched all those one night. You know, every video he did at one time. You know, so I've been really enjoying myself, finding lots of new things, new interest. I realize I'm not the only freak in the world that's looking for this stuff. You know, so that always helps.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All
And then
right.
Jody's been enjoying herself too, so it's fun. Something we do together. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Alrighty. Thanks, BookTube.